How the heck are you guys? Welcome to Etheria Station. All aboard. I want to show you how to beat 100% free-to-play Terrormaton F2P. You can see the run wrapping up behind me. This is not the fastest run in the world, but it's about as free-to-play as it's going to get. We've got 4 SR units and then 1 SSR. That's going to be the current limited rate-up unit, Fushu. And this is a comp I'm pretty proud of. It's simple, it's clean, it's extremely doable. Everyone is at 5 stars except for D-Ting, who is our solo DPS. And all in all, it's going to help a lot of people, I think, get to that next level and reach F2P farming. Some of my guides in the past, I really dive into a lot of the nitty gritty, but I wanted to try something a little different here and kind of keep it short and sweet. I'm going to show you the run again right now. I'll explain everyone's roles as it goes. As you can see, the run takes about 3 minutes, and then we'll just hop into my roster and I'll show you the characters I used, maybe briefly add a little more color as to why I chose them, and then show you the gear so you can copy the builds, and that'll be that. Let me know if you appreciate this stuff, guys, this kind of guide. And if you're new here, welcome to Etheria Station. Make sure to subscribe. We're only about a week and a half old. We just passed 1,500 subscribers. Hopefully we keep that momentum going. I'm going to have F2P guides every day starting after this video. So this will be the first one, F2P Terrormaton. Then we'll do F2P Doki Doki, and then F2P Aurora. They're all going to be as free to play as possible. So if you're watching this in the future, all of those guides are out. Go watch them, progress in the game, get some good modules, start farming the important thresholds at the high difficulty. To wrap the whole thing up, though, in about 4 days' time, as you can see, I am farming Inferno as a free-to-play with a really accessible comp, no light dark SSRs, nothing crazy at all, a ton of SR units, actually, and this is where you get the fancy modules, namely this one over here, the Fury Edge. This is pretty special. But you'll have to wait a couple days for that. Let's hop in now, and let's talk Terrormaton F2P. So the comp we're using, as I said, has 4 5-star units and 4 SRs. There's 1 SSR that is Fushu, and there's 1 6-star that is D-Ting. Essentially, we're bringing a lot of support in the form of Koachi the Guard, who is just chef's kiss phenomenal dark unit, disorder SR. Then we've got Fushu, excellent support with healing, turn meter boosts, and obviously fantastic shields. Also does increase speed AoE as a buff, a very good buff. And then the famous Valyan, who is left, right, and center in so much content. She is coming in with death saves, increased attack, health equalization, heal over time, a lot of nice things. Then for debuffing, we are bringing Dina, who can do a lot of debuffs. Dina's one of my absolute favorite characters in the entire game, an incredible animus. She's got AoE defense break, she can do vulnerabilities, she has her own special thing called erosion, which is some increased damage taken based on whomever's attacking the target wearing that debuff based on their attack, and she can even steal a little turn meter too with her basic ability. Also, we get a little debuffing from Koachi the Guard, who can push some turn meter back, let us control the fight a little longer, and then of course D-Ting. Boom, 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 single target. So without further ado, let's get into this fight. Let me make myself a bit smaller, and you'll kind of get to see the way this tune goes up. They get 1 attack in, and then we come with Fushu. She's going to use her S3. We're getting some big shields. We're getting increased speed. And then immediately, we've got Koachi the Guard, who I put a lot of effect accuracy on. So he is able to extend the buffs. He's also going to put up increased defense. He puts up immunity. You saw Dina went with the AoE debuffs. We landed a bunch. And then we focus the left hand first. That is really important. So let me actually show you that quickly. You really need to focus the left hand, or at least your left. I guess it's Terrormaton's right hand, but the attacking hand on the left, because you just want to keep the run safe. If you're trying to speed it up eventually, once you've got a more refined comp and you want to get these runs really fast, be a 3-star run, certainly you can focus Terrormaton earlier. But for me, I always go for the left hand first. I'll tell you, when I farm F2P, I guess I just moved on to Inferno the other day, but when I was doing it, I would always still target the attacking hand, and I could still get my runs done in about 50 to 55 seconds. So just do that. You're going to be screwed. This thing hits so hard if you don't. So target that, then you'll see we move on to the big boss. So D-Ting just took him out. Now we come in with Fushu on a normal hit. There's the action delay, the turn meter drop, push Terrormaton back a little bit from Koachi. We go again, you can see with the S3 from Dina. She is wearing the Codex. You can see the shell right there. Pretty nice. D-Ting with a nice S1. And now we just chip away. We're kind of settled into the run. You'll see between all our support, we have so many buffs up. Koachi the guard keeps extending them, so much support. You know, there's heals from the special mechanic inside of Fushu's kit, combined with the heal over time from Valyan, also the equalization. We're just in pretty good shape. I mean, look how full those buff bars are. Now we're already cycling back again. This is going to be the S3 from Fushu. We get the shields back up, and we're just in good shape. And that's basically it. One thing that can throw this run off, it can't destroy the run if you build your units properly, but it can slow it down, is bad luck with Dina. It doesn't make sense, but she misses decreased defense so often. I've got her at like 220% effect accuracy. She has a base chance of 40% to land the decreased defense, and that's on a quadruple hitter. But consistently, she does seem to miss it. Like I said, it won't throw the run off. Here we go. She lands it. No, she doesn't. So she just kind of skips ahead sometimes. She went straight to the erosion. I think it's some kind of quirk because she's supposed to start with decreased defense. Then once that's up, she goes to vulnerability. Then once that's up, she goes to erosion. But you can see there, she went straight to the erosion. The only thing I can think is because the right hand has the decreased defense. But when it lines up like that, and I'm glad you guys got to see an example, it does slow the run down just a bit. It just takes D-Ting slightly longer to sit this boy down. We'll be good though. So here you go. If the decreased defense was up, we would have just won right there. We nearly did. But yeah, adds a little bit. Sometimes it can add, this time it's only going to add what, 10 seconds, 15 seconds? Sometimes it can add 30 seconds. But there you go, 2 minutes and 23 seconds is going to be our run. And I think it's pretty silky smooth. I've tested this out about 25 times today. It works every single time. I tried doing all SR units, not using Fushu, not using Freya, not using Mia. Those are all the examples that I used in that Fushu spot. I couldn't get it to go. You know, I tried Chiaki, not the Echo, the normal Chiaki. I tried Rin. There were a lot of things I put in, but I couldn't make it work at 100% with all SRs. I hope this is accessible and free to play enough for you guys. Let's head right into the character screen and show these Animus builds. We'll start with D-Ting. He's in some of my better DPS gear, but you can see it's nothing so outrageous. Only 48% crit, obviously from his passive, and I really do suggest you fully skill up your D-Ting. He is worth your purple lattices more than maybe any SR unit in this entire game. He's such a hard carry, especially if you're free to play. And maybe you don't have the greatest SSR DPSs in the game. He's going to increase his crit rate by 60%. So he is effectively crit capped. So 48% plus 60%, that brings him to 108%. And we are making use of that overflow as well, because you can see any excess crit rate, that 8%, 150% of it is converted into crit damage. So we're actually getting an additional 12% crit damage. I'm not going to over-explain this, though. I think you guys all understand how D-Ting works. If you want to see the total stats, just a hair under 4,000 attack, 3,972, 321% crit damage, and then the speed is just fast enough at 190. For the module sets for which matrices we're choosing, I think Harvest is phenomenal on him. Keen Eye is fine, though I think you kind of tend to outgrow it deeper in the game. I just have a very good shell built up for him. You can see very nice effects I rerolled a lot for. You don't have to have it this OP. You saw we were in great control. You could go for a weaker build. The key thing is you're going to want to kill that left hand pretty fast. So whether you can one-shot it or it's going to take 2 rounds of D-Ting, you don't want it to take much longer than that. The longer the fight goes on, the boss keeps stacking more and more damage as he gets his passive effects and as he gets buffed from the hand on our right. But yeah, Harvest is a great one. And then just, you know, Onslaught, certainly Fury, Momentum. Momentum would be amazing. But I think a lot of people focusing on Terrormaton maybe haven't progressed super deep in Aurora. It all depends on your roster. For the right side, we went crit damage, attack bonus. I find that's the best for D-Ting. If you have like a god tier crit rate piece, that works, but I don't know why it is, because the crit rate should be converting, the extra stuff should be converting to crit damage at the higher rate, but I always find going to crit damage has worked better for me. Again, with those skill ups, he is fully skilled. The key skills are the skill 3 and of course the skill 2. The real reason I go for the skill 1 is just for the extra attack, quite simply. And I do think it is worth it. Let's keep working our way down and let's go to Fushu now. You can see I've got no skill ups, no prowess at all here, nothing. We didn't even get the little extra benefits. Fushu really is that girl. Like, she's that good. I was on the fence for a minute about pulling for her. I'll probably make a guide on her this weekend. She was so worth it. She's still on rate up for like 6 days. Definitely do try to pick up a copy. This is just a phenomenal god tier skill. She has her, unique mechanism of Moonlit Veil, which allows her to be giving healing and turn meter boosts to all her allies. It is really powerful. We went for speed here and we went for HP, and then we stopped thinking about it. There wasn't much more to it. I'll show you the total stats now. You can see she's just over 36,000 HP. She's at 235 speed, and that's basically it. No other stats mattered. We're running her in plus 12 Swift Rush and plus 8 Bulwark. The one key thing for tuning here is you want to make sure she's a little bit faster than Koachi the guard. He needs to go after her and then extend her buffs. We'll talk about Koachi in just a second, but it's pretty simple. Not much more to say about Fushu. She's awesome. Get the HP high, get the speed respectable, and you are good to go. I think I want to skip over Valyan here and go straight to Koachi the guard. I think for a free-to-play that's not lucky enough to have Doki Doki, who obviously is like the amazing pairing to go with Fushu, Koachi the guard for me has been the next best thing. This S3 is so crazy strong. You have to really understand how the success mechanism works. Essentially, he has opportunities to trigger special effects depending on how much effect accuracy you put on him. The amount of effect accuracy you're going to want to shoot for is at least 181%. I'll explain why in a moment, but to fully understand this skill, he's going to apply AoE increased defense for 2 turns. That's where it starts. But then he can trigger either success or additionally critical success, and the chance to do that scales off of his effect accuracy. So the chance for success, which by the way, will grant a 1-turn immunity, it is 80% of his attack. So if you want to know how do you have a 100% chance for this to happen, he needs at least 125% effect accuracy, because 80% of 125 is 100%. But you're going to want to go a step further because critical success is so strong, and that brings him to another level. When you can trigger critical success, he will extend the duration of all buffs on all his allies by 1 turn. That includes the defense increase and immunity he has already placed from the base skill and the success trigger, respectively. The key thing is how much effect accuracy do you need to trigger critical success 100% of the time? Well, the chance is going to be 55% of effect accuracy, 181% effect accuracy, 55% of that is 100%, so you're going to want him at least 181. Personally, I build him at 200% plus. It's just very reliable for a lot of pieces of content in this game, and I think 200% is a good number, and we hit it on the button. If we go to the S2, here's another reason you're going to want a lot of effect accuracy on him, because this is a skill that has turn meter pushback and a debuff. So these are both things you're going to want effect accuracy for anyway. So you're not just building effect accuracy on him to get the success and critical success chances. So you can see when he's fully skilled up, and I think you should fully skill up his S2 as well. You can see I've maxed the S2 and the S3, have not done anything with the S1, but he's going to do a triple hitter, and you will see each one of those hits has a 65% chance to set the turn meter back by 20%. So if you hit on all 3 with this single target attack, you'll push the turn meter of that enemy back by 60%. Additionally, that final hit when he's skilled up has a 100% chance to land a 2-turn decreased speed. This is obviously extremely strong against the boss in Terrormaton. You want to slow that guy down because the hand on our right is going to keep pushing his turn meter up. This is a great counter to that. I love Koachi the guard's kit. Obviously, the community is very much behind this guy. He is a lot of hype, but he is worth all of that hype. You can see I went for plus 12 Swift Rush and plus 12 Time Weave. I really like the plus 12 Time Weave because of the secondary effect at the start of the turn. 35% chance to reduce the cooldown of all Animus skills by 1 turn. So that's happening about a third of the time. I find this very valuable in a longer fight like our 2-minute, 3-minute Terrormaton L4 that we're going through here. If we go to the shell, I've got him in a max out Jackal Guard. This is definitely a good piece, one of the better shells on my account. You can see it has 3 Matrix Swift Rush and 3 Matrix Time Weave. I really like this for him. There's a lot of things you could run him on, but basically I'm getting extra effect accuracy, I'm getting extra speed. It's a good piece on my account, and this is a great shell to put on him. I'll show you those total stats right now if you want to pause and copy them. He's just a hair slower than Fushu, which is important, 200 effect accuracy. After that, we're just going for any general tankiness, just making sure he doesn't absolutely fall apart. Valyan, pretty dang simple. Let's actually begin things with her shell. I've got her in an artisan. This is not fully awakened or anything. It's just a solid artisan. Not very good passive effects as well, but the key thing is this is just an extra way to get more support, get more shields. You do not have to run this on her, but I just like having it as a fail safe. If someone happens to get low, she comes in, puts up pretty humongous shields, and we're in good shape. You know, it's a good fail-safe to make sure the run stays at 100%. If we look at the stats here, you're going to see she's at just over 2,000 defense, 2253. She's at nearly 23,000 HP, and she's at fine speed. This actually might even be slightly fast. If she was a little slower, we'd get the S3, that initial one, the health equalization, at a little bit of a better moment, but we don't need it, so I chose to go slightly faster. But then again, none of these builds are particularly fast, right? So she's tanky enough, decent in defense to make sure the artisan puts out big shields. That's what the shields scale off of, and that's basically it. Not much more to it. You can see we're running her in Swift Rush and Bramble. The Bramble's not so significant here that we have it +8. The +4 is nice for the extra defense, and that's about it. For the skills, we've only maxed out the S3. This is at level 5, but the rest, as you can see, are at level 1. She's very clutch. The death saves are very good. I think a lot of people are intimately familiar by now with Valyan. And let's wrap things up with Dina. This loadout is very similar to the one I have on Klaus. The key things are we want a lot of effect accuracy. So we've got her at 228%. I think as long as it's 200% or higher, you're going to be in totally good shape. You want her fairly fast. She definitely needs to be faster than D-Ting. That's the key thing. But in general, you know, fitting 20, 30, 40 points faster than him. And then just tanky enough that she doesn't instantly die. Because once those shields are up, once all the buffs are up, we're good to go. And she hits all those marks. These are the total stats if you want to see. 221 speed, decent tankiness, and 228 effect accuracy. For the shell, this is the last key thing in my opinion. She's very strong with a Codex of Magic to make sure she gets that double hitter out at the beginning. It takes out some RNG, it makes sure that when D-Ting takes his focus to the boss that the decreased defense is there. That being said, a Jackal Guard or something would still work incredibly well. Another good option would be the Gigabyte over here. There's a lot of things you can do with her. Just get her fast enough, get the effect accuracy up, and you are good to go. For the skills, we've maxed out the S3. That's definitely important. We've also maxed out the S2. That is less important. There you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Fastidious. If you appreciate this kind of guide and this kind of content, please hop on the train here at Etheria Station and be sure to subscribe. Thank you to Mitchell for editing this video. And if you want to start playing Etheria Restart, please use my link in the description or the top pinned comment. Thank you, guys. I'll see you real soon. Share with your mother. Goodbye.
Fastidious.